Well, for the first time this season, the Phillies finally have themselves a 500 road trip. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Phillies Hot Stove Media, and today we're going to be recapping the Phillies' 7-game road trip as they played 4 games against the Cincinnati Reds in Cincinnati, and then 3 games in Chicago against the Chicago White Sox. And I guess before getting into this video, please subscribe if you haven't not yet. Please turn on that notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. For the first time here in 2023, the Phillies have themselves a above 500 road trip. So they finished with a 4-3 road trip as they head back home to take on the Colorado Rockies and then the Seattle Mariners. So I'm very, very pleased with this, right? I mean, it could have been better. I mean, I would have liked to have won 3 out of 4 against the Cincinnati Reds, but hey, at least we didn't lose the series, right? We ended up splitting there. At least we didn't lose the series, and we still finished against the Reds this year with an above 500 record. So I'm still very happy with that, but this Phillies team, as we've seen last year and in years prior, is just very, very hot and cold. They're very, very inconsistent. They pushed across 7 runs yesterday in the first game of the doubleheader. Of course, the game on Monday was rained out, and then we come out, we almost blow a 5-0 lead, right? I mean, they made a 1-run ball game, then we end up winning 7-4, and then we lose 3-0 in game 2. It's like, oh my gosh, and of course we'll get into this, but we're very, very inconsistent. We're very, very inconsistent. Hey, we're still settling in. I mean, we're better off than where we were last year at this time. So, I mean, hey, I'll take it. Trey Turner with a big 3-hit day today. I mean, he really hasn't been looking so good the past few days. Of course, hey, it's just, everybody's going to go through that. And I think we all knew that was temporary. I mean, I very rarely have any doubt about Trey Turner. I mean, I believe that he's, one of, if not the best player on this team right now. Just a little update. Of course, I don't have a ton of time in these videos, but Bryce Harper took batting practice against Ranger Suarez yesterday. So it's nice to see those two in action. Of course, a lefty-lefty matchup for Suarez and Harper. So the hope is to have Harper back at the end of next month. Of course, we don't want to rush it, but at the same time, we really need him back. Especially when we're seeing guys like Jake Cave and Cody Clemens get playing time. Of course, now there's some talk that Harper will get some time at first base. So that would be great. If you all remember when he was a free agent back in 2018, there was a talk that maybe the Yankees would sign him as a first baseman. So he's kind of flirted with that idea for a little while now. It'd be interesting to see if they really put him there. As we begin the first game of the 7-game road trip, of course, every single road trip I've recapped so far this season has been a 6-game road trip or homestand. So this is a 7-game road trip. So, of course, that means I'm going to have less time to talk about each game on average. But the Phillies would fall 6-2 to the Cincinnati Reds as they opened up the 7-game road trip on a not-so-good note. This is a very flat performance, and, Bailey Falter just didn't look very good in this one. I was pretty confident in him going into this game, but he just did not look very good at all. And the moral of the story here is that the Phillies just couldn't really get that big hit. They failed to get the job run with runners in scoring position. It was very, very frustrating to watch. Bailey Falter, he faltered. I mean, 4 2/3, 5 earned, 4 strikeouts. He just didn't do his job very well at all. He just didn't. He had a rough day, and unfortunately, the Cincinnati Reds would take game 1. And then the Phillies will come back in game 2 behind Taijuan Walker, his first win in a Phillies uniform as the Phillies pulled this one out 8-3. Monia Sosa, I understand that he's battling a little bit of some back soreness right now. That's why he's not seeing much playing time, but this early in the road trip, he was still seeing some playing time. But how about him going deep for his second home run of the season? Kyle Schwarber also driving in a run on an RBI double. So the offense was really clicking. I mean, coming off the night before when we were not getting the job done with runners in scoring position, not playing fundamental baseball, the Phillies were able to redeem themselves in this game and come out on top. Nick Castellanos back in Cincinnati as he slugs his 9th double of the season at this time. So think about it. He is homerless. I mean, he's had a really good start to the 2023 season, but we need some balls over the wall. We need to see some balls go over the wall. We need some home runs, and that's one thing that I'm a little bit concerned about with Nick Castellanos. Where is his power? There's no question that he could still rank up those extra base hits with doubles and things like that. I mean, 9 doubles already at the point of this game. But I'm worried about those home runs. Where are the home runs? Only 13 last year, so it's no secret that this guy really needs to start picking it up and start hitting the ball over the wall. He has a 795 OPS as of now. 11 RBIs in the year, zero home runs. So we need to see a little bit more of that, hitting 292. I don't really put much stock in the batting average, but Nick Castellanos has looked good this year, for the exception of not being able to hit the ball over the wall. So Brandon Marsh also tripling in this game as well. So everybody was contributing. Everybody was chipping in. Taijuan Walker with his first win in a Phillies uniform. How about that? 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. The run was earned, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. His ERA now sits at 4.20. He looked pretty good in this one. And then the Phillies would come back the very next day and get absolutely smoked. 13-0. They get shut out. I mean, this was horrible. This was disaster. I mean, this was unwatchable. I mean, it got to the point where I actually had to just turn my phone to Do Not Disturb because I just kept getting notifications while I was at work. Oh, they scored another run. Oh, they scored another run. It just was annoying. So I just said, you know what? I'm just going to turn it off. This was just unmerciful. 5 hits total as a team. Shame that he had 2 of those hits. It's a shame that Monia Sosa is now dealing with back soreness. I mean, hopefully we can get him back in the line, especially when this team's, out with Rhys Hoskins for the rest of the year. They don't have Bryce Harper right now, so I tell you, he's a guy that's contributing. We really need him back in the lineup. Matt Strahm, 2 2/3, 2 hits, 3 runs, all 3 earned, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. He just didn't really seem to have it. And it's hard to get too mad at this guy because he's really come up clutch for us this year in so many different ways. But Angel Bellotti didn't look good at all. I mean, he struggled. I mean, it seems like he just picked up right where Matt Strahm left off. McKinley Moore looked absolutely horrible, allowing 3. And they bring in Josh Harrison there as he does finish out the bottom of the 8th inning, but not before allowing 5 earned runs. So that was kind of funny, right? Josh Harrison on the mound. But certainly wasn't funny to lose 13-0 to the measly and pathetic Cincinnati Reds, the Joey Votto-less Cincinnati Reds. I mean, of course, Joey Votto isn't the player he once was, but still. I mean, come on. And then the Phillies would redeem themselves. This is what I was saying before. I mean, so hot and cold, so inconsistent. They come back the very next day and they win by a final score of 14-3. I mean, they return the favor. They have a 9-run top of the first. 9-run top of the first. So what a way to answer back. I mean, you want some redemption, then take that. I mean, not only did you win 14-3, but how about a 9-run first inning? How about that for you? Sure, a lot of the fans hadn't even shown up at the ballpark yet, and their home team was down 9-0. Oh my gosh, I mean, I'm sure some of you are like, I'm not even going to bother even walking in the gates. This was just, this was an absolute smackdown of these guys. Brandon Marsh with a 4-hit afternoon. The offense was just absolutely on fire. 23 hits as a team, as I said, 14 runs across the board. We walked 5 times as a team. Aaron Nola, 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, only 2 of them earned, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So I'd like to see him and Wheeler start to go a little bit deeper. But it's still early in the season. They really haven't looked fantastic. It's been no secret. It's been no secret. I think they're starting to kind of settle into a groove a little bit. We'll talk about Zach Wheeler when we talk about yesterday's 2 games in Chicago. But the bullpen looked pretty good in this one to Brogdon, Krimble, and Ortiz. It's a perfect time to use a guy like Ortiz in that spot when you're up big, not much to lose. So this was an absolute slugfest and a great way to leave Cincinnati. I mean, imagine if you lost this game and lost the series. It just kind of felt like you forgot about that 13-0 loss. Made you kind of forget about it. So we pushed across 14 runs and win by a final score of 14-3. That was just an absolute smackdown. As I said, the game on Monday got postponed, and we have a doubleheader against the Chicago White Sox yesterday. We win the first game 7-4. After being up 5-0, we allow the Chicago White Sox to have a 4-run bottom of the 3rd inning and make it a 5-4 ball game. So this is what I'm talking about. This has been something that happens a lot in baseball, right? I mean, it's just sports. Sometimes you have a lead and you let the team come back in the game and you almost lose the lead. But it seems to happen a lot with this team. It seems to happen way too much with this team. And, Ricky Vitalico and Michael Barhan was talking about it, and I'm going to talk about it too. I'm a little bit worried about Zach Wheeler. I wouldn't say I'm worried, but he just hasn't looked great. Even dating back to last postseason, he just I don't know. There's something missing with him. Even when you watch him pitch, I think I talked about it last week. When you watch him pitch, there's just something missing in his groove. There's something missing in his delivery. His velocity really hasn't been affected that much, but he's just not executing as well. Of course, he does get the win in this one, but it really wasn't great start. I mean, it wasn't that at all. You go take a look at his line. 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, 4 were earned. Didn't walk anybody, but the bullpen came in and did their job with Gregory Soto, Craig Krimble against his former squad. Sandy Dominguez looked great. He started to look better. That was a great job there in the bottom of the 8th inning. He looked absolutely fantastic there, and Jose Alvarado did a wonderful job there in the bottom of the 9th inning and closed us out to get his first save of the season. But yeah, Zach Lear, not the best. Nick Castellanos continuing to rake as he drives in a run on an RBI single. How about Josh Harrison yesterday? J-Hay, right? A 2 RBI single in the top of the 3rd inning. And then later in the top of the 7th, when it's still 5-4, he smokes a 2-run home run to left center field here, his first tank of the season against his former squad to give the Phillies now a 7-4 lead. So a nice little room for comfort. We definitely would have had more of an anxiety-filled bottom of the 7th through bottom of the 9th inning if he hadn't have done that. So Josh Harrison providing some breathing room, and the Phillies pull it out 7-4 as they win the first game of that doubleheader. So Josh Harrison, definitely your player of the game in that one, man. I mean, he looked great. But as I said, Zach Lear, I mean, could have looked better. And then, oh my gosh, I don't know what happened there in the second game. We lose 3-0. It seems like the bats just took the rest of the day off. I understand it was a little bit different lineup. Of course, it's how doubleheaders work. This was just a horrible performance. Lucas Giolito just destroyed us in this one. I mean, he absolutely destroyed us. I mean, we get one measly hit. The umpiring in this game was horrible, though. I'll be honest. It was terrible. It seems like the umpiring in almost every game is absolutely horrible. But this was not the best game for the Phillies. The only hit we collect, a double by Brandon Marsh, the 6th of the season. So that was it. That was the only hit that we got in this game, was a double by Brandon Marsh. And Bailey Falter, not bad. I mean, this was a good start. It was better than his last start in Cincinnati. 7 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, all 3 were earned, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. This was good enough to win. I mean, 7 innings from Bailey Falter. Wow. I mean, and you don't win that game? I mean, come on. I understand you're not going to win every game, but come on. And then Ortiz came in there in the bottom of the 8th inning and pitched a 1-2-3 inning, striking out 1. So I like what I've seen out of Ortiz in the short time I had to see him. I have. He had a good day, as I mentioned before, in Cincinnati, and he seemed to do his job here. So the pitching staff, not the problem in the second game, but that's what I'm talking about. You're not going to win every game, but at least score a run. I mean, come on. I mean, you score 7 runs in the first game and you get nothing. In the second game, you get 1 hit. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, you could do better than that. Come on. Come on. And then today, the Phillies would leave Chicago, the rubber game, and win the series. First series win on the road this year. So they really needed that. Against the Chicago White Sox, the 7-12 Chicago White Sox. Of course, the Phillies now hold an 8-11 record. So a 5-2 Phils as they pull this one out. Taijuan Walker with another great performance this afternoon. I think he's starting to settle in. And how about Trey Turner, a guy that did not have a good start to this series? It's his first home run in the Phillies uniform today. That was great. That was just absolutely fantastic. So of course, the second at-bat of the ball game, he smokes a home run. Brandon Marsh, after the White Sox get 2 in the bottom of the first, he answers back with a solo shot in the top of the second, and then the Phillies wouldn't look back. They would take the lead on the Nick Castellanos RBI single. Bryson Stott, who has looked great. He has looked so good. Every single video I made this year has just been praising Bryson Stott. He is finally developing. I think he is. The Phillies would win 5-2. As I mentioned, Taijuan Walker with a really good day today. 6 1/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So that's now 2 starts in a row. He's looked really good. And compared to Taijuan Walker's standards, I mean, I think that it's fairly obvious that Thompson's letting these guys kind of ease in a little bit. That he's not just, letting them, throw 7 or 8 innings yet, but he's just kind of letting them ease in a little bit. And Craig Kimbrel, I mean, I was kind of bad-mouthing him last week, calling him a wash signing. I mean, he looked good today. He did. He looked good against his former team. Tell you, man, I mean, good road trip. I mean, could have been better. I mean, yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to complain. Hey, it was above 500 road trip. 4-3, the Phils go. 4 in Cincinnati and 3 against the Chicago White Sox. So 8-11, the Phils sit right now as they're still in 4th place. 2 games behind the Miami Marlins. They're 6 back from the Atlanta Braves, the first place Atlanta Braves, who sit 14-5. So hopefully this game can kind of start to get it going. Of course, we do have the measly Colorado Rockies coming to town 5-14. I'm just glad we're not out there, because we did not play well out there at all. Matt Stram on the mound, 1-1 with a 2.13 ERA, going against Feltner, who's 0-2 with an 8.78 ERA. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn on the notification bell, like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media link in the description section at Phillies Hot Stove Media, Instagram, TikTok, Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at PHotStoveMedia. Call or text 267-225-3392. Email me, PhilliesHotStoveMedia@gmail.com. So guys, Thank you so much for watching. I'm Luke, and I will talk to you later. Let's go Phils. I'll see you guys.